Hi, welcome to the second in my series of basic Adobe Audition 3.0 procedures, processes, a tutorial for the people who have just begun to use the software. Today we're going to cover basic audio editing and recording in Edit View in Adobe Audition. Let's start up the software. And it comes up in Edit View. If you watched my last video, you know that that's the upper left-hand most button of the three modes that you have a choice of. Now, you need to start recording. You can do that by clicking on the red record button, much like an old tape deck, or do what I do, and that's use the keyboard shortcut for the same thing, which is Control Space. Now, it's going to ask you a question. What rates do you want? Well, for a voiceover, I choose 44.1 mono 16-bit. That's good for a voiceover. It's the same rate that any audio CD is recorded at. Click OK, and it starts recording. Now, I have in front of me a script for a radio spot that I did some time ago for a place in Columbus that sells microbrew beer and barbecue. And I'm going to read about 15 seconds of the script just to give us something to work with. Do you love craft beer as much as we do? Then get to Barley's Smokehouse and Brew Pub, Columbus' only spot for an award-winning microbrew and barbecue, featuring real pit-style barbecue and an award-winning selection of house-brewed real ales. Okay, that's probably about 15 seconds, so hit the space bar to stop the recording, and then you need to clean it up. So here comes basic editing in Edit View of Adobe Audition 3.0. All right, here's where I started. Now I have in front of me a script. No, here's where I started. Do you love craft? Okay, so we don't want all that crud to the left of the cursor. So the quickest way to do this is with the keyboard. Hit Shift, Home, and Delete on your keyboard. Then hit Home out of habit. Do you love craft beer as much as we do? Okay, there's the beginning. Now here's the end. Ales. And we don't want the rest of this. Okay, that's probably about 15. So let's hit Shift and Delete. Now there's our basic voiceover, but I'd like to clean up the breaths. You can see the breaths. Oh, by the way, I'm zooming in and out with the wheel on my mouse, which is really handy. So let's highlight by rolling in with the scroll wheel on your mouse, left clicking and highlighting, and then hit spacebar to listen to what you're about to cut. That's a breath. Delete. Okay. Here's a pause. Again, I'm scrolling with my mouse to zoom, highlighting with my left mouse button, like that, listening to it with the spacebar, hitting delete to get rid of that pause, and scrolling out, zooming out with the wheel on my mouse. Then I see this. What's this? So I highlight with the left button of my mouse and I listen. That's obviously a breath. Delete with the delete key on your keyboard. And that's about it. Now let's listen to what we've got. Do you love craft beer as much as we do? Then get to Barley's Smokehouse and Brew Pub, Columbus' only spot for an award-winning microbrew and barbecue, featuring real pit-style barbecue and an award-winning selection of house-brewed real ales. And then one more thing you should do with the voiceover before you save it and moving on to the rest of the project is double-click to highlight the entire wave and go to Effects, Amplitude and Compression, Normalize, make sure it says 100% and click OK. That makes it as loud as it can be in the digital realm. Now you want to save this voiceover, so you go to File, Save As, make yourself a folder. We'll go to Audio, and we'll create a folder with the Create New Folder button in Windows, and we'll call it Barley's. Alrighty. B-A-R-L, Barley. Well, we'll go with Barley. That'll work. Now I'm in Barley. I'm going to save this as V-O MP3, so we choose MP3 from the Save As, which you can set as your default, which I have, but it's not the default when you start using the software. So VO MP3 is what we're going to get, and we're going to click Save. In our next video, we'll get on to what we are going to do with this voiceover. And thank you for listening and viewing and watching and hearing, and I'll talk to you soon.